welcome everyone to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
And with us here, we have the magnificent Son X with us here.
It's X time. Let's get it.
It's X time.
Let's get it.
What's going on? Your Mike Madonna jersey in the background looks like it has some sort of futuristic hologram on top of it.
It does. Yeah. Ooh, it's showing CJ Stroud right now in the sky with some stats that he's got. Crazy.
For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. This is an all sports podcast that takes place every single Sunday, usually around, I don't know, usually a little earlier than this. Usually it's around like 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But for today, a little bit, again, of a mishmash regarding scheduling. But, we go live every Sunday evening. But that's the reason why you have to be subscribed on YouTube. And you have to have your notification bell turned on, because when the lovely page is on nights, some days we get on earlier, some days a little later. Anyway, enough with that. If you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you subscribe and make sure you like the video. I will say this here. For today, we've got a lot of NFL news and updates to talk about. Also, some college football. There were a few, I'd say, robberies out here this weekend in the world of NFL and college athletics that we're going to talk about, that were just kind of, you just kind of left with your mouth agape with some of the calls and non-calls that were made there on Saturday and Sunday. Now, I'm not sure where X went, but X, he wanted to talk about something. There was something that had him a little hot under the collar. I'm not sure how long he'll be gone for, but we were happening to watch the Chiefs against the Bengals game, right? That was the mid-afternoon game, the big game. Bengals, Joe Burrow, can he go ahead and get, find solid footing? Can he beat Patrick Mahomes and the mighty Kansas City Chiefs, Grumpy? Answer was no to that question.
I knew when McPherson missed the extra point. I said to X, they're going to lose. That extra point is going to be the reason they lose. And it was. Now they got a little bit of help from the officials on a couple of calls.
Like always.
I just think you're starting to hear from people who are kind of noticing that. But you have to execute plays. There was a big penalty on Jamar Chase in the fourth quarter where he just lost his mind and wouldn't let the referee go. Now, it was one of those little drop tackles that they say they're outlawing this year.
Right.
And it was, but it wasn't called. And he just gets right in the official's face. Not once. Burrow's trying to drag him away, and then he said something else, and the flag came out. So I don't know what he said, but it was probably one of the couple of things you cannot say to referees, and he gets it. Then he's still on the sideline. He's screaming at the coaches, the position coach, the head coach. He's slamming his helmet on the side. It's like, dude, you got to grow up.
Here's my thing, though. When do we start holding these officials accountable? Their fuck-ups consistently.
Can I finish, please? You saw the same thing in the Denver game, where there was a hit that a Denver guy laid on Pittsburgh, which to me was really, really borderline late hit. The guy was falling. He hit him with his shoulder to the head. The guy was falling down. Now, he went crazy, too, threw his helmet on the ground. Sean Payton yelled at him. His position coach yelled at him. These players need to grow up a little bit.
Okay, hold on. The one thing that you forgot to mention was, where was the 15-yard penalty for that? When he threw his helmet on the ground after the play. Where's the 15-yard penalty for that? Because, they're both judged by the same league, right? Both games officiated by the same league. Where's the consistency?
They probably didn't want to give him 30 yards in penalty in Denver.
Tough shit. You can't call it for one game and not call it for the other. It's the same league. It's the same officiating.
But you can't. There's also certain things you cannot say to a referee. And I guarantee, as soon as
you can't throw your helmet off on the field, too. You can't do that.
That's
against the rules.
Well, some teams can do that. Some teams can, as we learned last year. Now, I will say this. The point of emphasis for the drop tackles, they're not actually enforcing it. Now this is what I want to show you, because here's the news flash, the unfortunate news flash. A lot of people make tackles like this in the NFL and college athletics. That's just how people make tackles. This is just a compilation of a few. You literally just put drop tackle, and you're able to find the hundreds of different clips throughout different games all on today to where it's like, oh man, there's a whole bunch of these drop tackle scenarios that are not being called. Now, here's one from that Buccaneers and Lions game, which we'll talk about. I mean, like, that is your quintessential definition, right? Like, he swings around, zoop, and tries to go ahead and just put all the weight on the knees like that and destroy the lower half of Baker Mayfield. That's just what we like to call, back in the day, a clean tackle. But there you go. There's Hutchinson doing that.
I have no problem with any of those tackles.
This is the one that happened to Chase. And here's the thing. It absolutely is. He just goes ahead and leaves his feet and just yanks with his upper body, and
he gets his
guy's lower body.
And Chase gets his leg caught underneath.
Yep. And that's here's the thing. Chase hasn't signed that big contract. Chase hasn't signed that big contract yet. And like it happens all the time. Here's another one. This is from last week. We'll watch this one again. And like the reason they outlaw this is because look at this. Zoop. They're all the same.
I'm like, okay, unless you want it to be two-hand touch football, stop saying what kind of tackles are legal in the league. The job is to get the guy down. I don't care if you bring an axe out there and chop off one of his legs. I don't care.
Here's my thing, though. Okay, you see that they're not calling it now. You can't call that shit for the rest of the year, in my opinion. You can't call it because you haven't called it all year.
Well, what if Kansas City? What if it happens against Kansas City? They'll be able to call it then, won't they?
I think.
Oh, absolutely, they will. They're holding on to it. I think it's an unbelievably subjective call, these drop tackles. And guess what? Because it's clear and obvious that there were multiple times. I just went ahead and just searched the top 3 that I could find. There are double digits on these drop tackles that happen every single week that are not called. So if you ever see that call called in a game, it's bullshit.
I would be irate because they're not calling that for any team and to protect the ball carriers. And I'm fine. I just want ubiquitous. I just want it to be equal across the board. I'm like, that's all I want, just equality on that side. I just want fair and honest officiating. Now,
don't tell people how they can and can't tackle guys. Your job is to get them down. Get them down.
No problem. Let them go ahead and hammer the hell out of people. Bring targeting back. Hand them with the helmet. I don't care, right, Grumpy?
I don't care.
Well, no,
these guys get paid a lot of money.
Be out of the league if that was the case.
These guys get paid a lot of money. I could care less.
We'll talk about other guys that had some situations here this week or earlier on this week. But X, now you thought the last play you were kind of you were mentioning there. As soon as it went to 4th down, you knew that they were going to call a penalty to bail him out. Tell me what you thought.
Absolutely, I knew it was happening. I knew it was coming.
4th and 16. 4th and 16.
Knew it. Did I not call it? Grump, did I not call it? You were there with me. I said, we better hope this doesn't go. I said, you better hope this drive doesn't go to 4th down. I said, because the flags are coming out to assist Kansas City. And sure as shit enough, flag comes out to assist Kansas City.
Now, I'll say this. I think it's borderline.
It's not. Both players have a right to the ball.
I agree.
Sorry.
I think it's relatively borderline. This is something that you see sometimes called, sometimes you don't. The issue I have is when you look at the calls where it's like, all of these, potentially 50-50 calls happen to go in favor of one team. That's where I'm like, that's why I got my conspiratorial hat on. Because this is one where it's like, I don't know, they're both going up for the ball. I mean, the guy, number 4, knows he has no shot in hell of catching the ball, and he kind of just throws his arms back like, I'm going to try to sell it. I mean, this is what happens, right? Like, you can watch it. We have the benefit of watching it in slow motion, but he's trying to sell the call. He has no shot in hell of making the catch. So watch again here.
He got there a little early. He did get there a little early. But how many times have we seen that not called? Yep. I saw 6 or 7 times today that same play was not called.
Look up any jump ball at the end of the game with 5 seconds left because they're absolutely getting hit and hammered as they're going up for the pass. So, it's horseshit.
Was it pass interference?
Look at Worthy. He can't see. He is backpedaling the ball.
That's Rice.
I'm sorry, Rice. Rice can't see. He's backpedaling into the defender. I'm sorry.
It's like when he was driving on the highway. He didn't see those.
He's backpedaling into the defender. Look at him. Look, he takes 3 steps backwards.
Both of his feet are planted. For the Bengals defender, both of his feet are planted, and he's making a action towards the ball. That's not pass interference. Sorry. Both of his feet are planted. He's jumping up, making action towards the ball. It's not PI.
That's, in my opinion, that should be a no call. But here's the thing. You see it sometimes called, okay, don't miss fucking extra points.
That's right.
Simple. Don't miss extra points. The other thing I mentioned, too, that I talked with you guys about last week, I'm not sure if I mentioned it on the show, Travis Kelce's absolutely finished. He's cashed.
Finished.
And it's the reason why the Chiefs have zero shot in hell of winning a Super Bowl this year.
They will
Travis
win. The league will push them down your throat. You're wrong.
Travis
You are
Kelce is
wrong. I
cashed.
called it like I called it last year. They're going to win the Super Bowl again this year because it's just like John Cena when he wrestled for WWE. Nobody wanted him. Nobody liked him. But guess what? They're going to ram that shit down your throat as hard as they possibly can. And this is WWE 2.0.
Okay.
Same exact shit.
X was over the house today, and he was ranting like a lunatic.
Because it's terrible. It's the same shit week after week after week.
You have a bias against Kansas City. You do.
Every
Now,
week they win by some fucking bullshit call at the end of the game.
I did find
Every week.
that last call was a little bit sketchy to bail them out on a 4th and 16 and put them in field goal range with 20 seconds left in the game. A little sketchy, to be honest with you, but good teams get those calls.
No, certain teams get those calls. There's a difference.
Isaiah Pacheco.
You didn't see Isaiah Likely getting those calls in or the Ravens getting those calls in the AFC Championship game last year, did you? When he was getting tackled and hit as the ball was going up.
Yeah, well,
didn't see that shit.
Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't.
Not to mention that the same head official of this game is the same fuckwad who shafted the Jets last year in the regular season. The same piece of shit. Strikes again. 2 for 2. Let's see if he can do the same shit next year.
The thing is, a lot of people on the internet are starting to notice.
Horrible.
They're starting to notice now how this just seems to happen every single week for the Chiefs. Late game calls going in their favor to bail them out of potential
situations.
Losses. Which, when the people are starting to say that, that's when the league has to step in and say something, right?
No.
It just seems like every single close call goes the Chiefs' way, most all the time, and that's problematic for the league.
Here's the thing: the league can keep chugging along. People don't really give a shit at all. I'd say that. I mean, like, people are still going to consume and watch. I'd say that my consumption of NFL football is at an all-time low. It just gets lower. I don't really care to watch the game and the product as much as I used to. I just don't.
If it wasn't for fantasy football, I wouldn't watch. Be 100% honest. If it wasn't for fantasy football, I would not watch.
And here's the thing.
I'd have no interest in any of the games or the outcomes. None.
All X does is complain about fantasy. That's all he cares about. It's hard to sit in a room with him watching and here's the thing, we're watching the individual game, we're watching like the Red Zone channel. So they go from one to another, and he's losing his mind every time they put something up where his guy doesn't do something. It's my fault because I didn't tell him who to play in his lineup.
Grumpy says sit Alvin Kamara this week.
That's not what I said.
Oh my God.
It didn't matter.
They're playing the Cowboys. Definitely sit him. Start Jonathan Taylor. He's good.
Well, Jonathan Taylor still had over 100 yards rushing today.
The only way Jonathan Taylor's going to put up big points is if Anthony Richardson destroys his shoulder again, because that guy gets every single touch in the red zone. He's running the ball.
That is what you're seeing. You're seeing the teams where
Taylor's
we have running quarterbacks where the skill position players are not producing like they have in the past because these guys think it's all about them.
The quarterback, the NFL and the product in the league, I mentioned it last episode and I mentioned it here again. It's continuing to become worse and worse and worse and worse. It just is. I understand, like, college football. I enjoy college football more. The product is shittier, but the atmosphere and the enthusiasm behind the teams are much more than the corporate atmosphere of the NFL. Just is. I'll put it to you like this too. God Almighty. You talk about getting screwed out of a game. We'll talk about it here in a second. Man, oh man, did the University of South Carolina get screwed out of their game against LSU?
They're not a ranked team. That's why. They're not one of the big boy teams.
It's not LSU and Brian Kelly is what it is. Now, it's just like we'll talk about that here in a second. We'll finish up our NFL because we have a few more things I want to talk NFL. But X, I just have one question. Does Goodell run the NCAA also? Because that would make a lot of sense as to why LSU got that win.
It's hard listening to him. He's like insane.
X, let's start popping up some comments here, and we'll let Grumpy go ahead.
Drew says, Son X, did you see Bake Nation pull out the victory against the Lions?
Bake Nation, baby, absolutely. I saw that.
Now, it didn't wind up hurting them, but that imbecile lunkhead Tank McNamara wannabe Dan Campbell went for it on a punt in the third quarter.
Fake punt, baby, on their own 20-yard line.
No, at their own 5-yard line. They got the first down to the 20, but it's like, what are you thinking? And they had an opportunity later to kick a field goal, stop Tampa, get the ball back. You kick a field goal, you win the game. They decided, of course, to go for it on fourth down. Doesn't work out. They wound up getting the ball back, and they were in touchdown range. Imagine if you just would have kicked the field goal. Take the points. Some of these coaches just don't want to take the points. It drives me insane. It's like, then I have to remember, they're just ex-football players, which means their IQs are about 42. So they're stupid. And they keep making the same dumb mistakes week after week after week. Coaches lose games, players win them. And sometimes officials, right, X?
Officials win one team a lot of games.
Ooh.
And especially big games.
I will say this, at least about the Lions. My God. They didn't do anything to establish the passing game early. They didn't get players involved. And it's like, oh, my God. Fuck. I mean, like, I watched the game. Their defense was like Swiss cheese in the secondary. I mean, how many more big passes and big completions are going to go to Chris Godwin and items like that? It's just like, you got to do better than that. Everybody has very high expectations, or I'd say majority of people have high expectations for the Lions based off of what they did last season.
They're the Lions.
Yeah.
They're the Lions.
Yeah, that's true.
They're the Lions. And here's the thing. I think Brad Johnson, is that the name of the offensive coordinator?
Maybe.
I think his last name is Johnson. I don't know his first name. Here's the thing. He should have taken a head coaching job in the offseason, because I think his play calling has been horrible this year so far. I think Jared Goff, who was terrible today,
yes,
has absolutely regressed. And maybe it's just a 1 week thing. Tampa's, pretty good defensively.
Tampa's got probably one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You know that.
Okay. But the Johnson guy, it's like, you got to strike when the iron's hot when you want a head coaching job, because if they revert to being the Lions again, he's not going to get another opportunity.
No time soon, at least.
I mean, you look at Dave Canales. He was offensive coordinator for 1 year at Tampa, and now he's a huge failure in Carolina, but at least he got a head coaching job. They're the worst team in the league.
Well, let's talk about
Denver. I'm in Denver.
Let's talk about X. We're going to talk about them in a second here. X, let's get through these comments here real quick, because I want to talk about Carolina too.
Cristiano Al-Hilaldo. Is this Alex?
This is Alex Monroe.
Well, I thought didn't he get married yesterday, X?
Congratulations, Alex.
Yep.
Congratulations, Alex. I guess the wedding must be going well. The honeymoon must be going well. You're listening to us.
Hey, man, no breaks. I like it, baby. Committed to the pod.
Chiefs and Bengals come down to a last-minute field goal. Who would have guessed that?
Anybody who knows that it's scripted. Seeing if you've watched any of their last however many games, it seems like all their games go down to some last second score. Every single one of them.
Cincinnati, I think, was 0 for 9 or 0 for 10 on third down conversions of 8+ yards. That's how you lose games. Their offensive line, they just sent the house at them, and they never made the adjustment. They really missed T. Higgins. You got Jamar Chase dropping balls, losing his freaking mind. He says he's not.
You have a 20-some-odd, 25, 26-yard pass interference penalty, which puts the other team in field goal range when it wasn't even really pass interference, and your team would have won.
You got to let that go.
You can't. This shit happens every week.
They're the Bungles. They're the Bungles. Yep. The Lions are the Lions. The Bungles are the Bungles. They just find ways to lose. That being said, the last team that Kansas City wants to play in the playoffs is Cincinnati.
I don't think they give a shit who they play. They know they're going to be rammed through.
Cincinnati plays them extremely tough every single time.
Didn't you say the same shit last year about the Ravens? The last team they want to play is the Ravens, and they ended up playing the Ravens.
Grumpy always likes the Ravens. The Ravens suck.
It's always Cincinnati. That being said, Cincinnati's record since this guy became head coach, they're 1-11 their first two games of the season. They're always behind the eight ball. They're 0-2 again this year. They lost to the Patriots last week, and this is a game they should have won, honestly.
Well, did you hear about what happened with the Patriots game? The NFL ruled that the Gesicki touchdown that they didn't call where he was actually in, they said that they made the incorrect ruling on the field and it should have been reversed to a touchdown, which would have given them the win over the
Well,
Patriots.
it was given a touchdown, and
then they took it away. Yeah, and then
they
they just came out and said that they effed up and they shouldn't have taken the touchdown away.
Now,
but guess
see-
what? That doesn't help the Bengals out. That's another one of your, well, that's just tough shit.
Well,
We
that-
fucked up on the
honestly-
field. We're not held
honestly-
accountable.
honestly, if I'm the owners, I have a serious problem with that.
They're not going to do anything.
Well, I
None
come
of
out.
those
I
refs are
rip-
held
I would-
accountable.
Okay,
None of them.
you know what? I'm ripping the NFL and saying, if you find me, I'm not paying. You're costing us with your bad calls. I'd absolutely come out and say, and I said, you want to try to find me? I'm not paying. And I'm going to go on national television and I'm going to rip you. That's
Then
how
they'll
you
strip
stop
your rights of the teams. What
They're
they'll
not
do,
gonna
they'll
strip
take the
your
team
rights
away
of
from
the
you.
team.
They absolutely
not-
will.
They're not. You're wrong. You're
They've done
wrong.
it to owners in the past.
They
They made
Well,
Jerry
questioning
Richardson
the
sell the
officials?
team. They
No.
made Jerry
Different
Richardson sell the
reasons.
team.
Different
You're right.
reasons. Okay, so this is what they're talking about, and this is true. Apparently, the NFL did come out and they said that if they wrongly overturned this call, I mean, not including the fact that he was getting mugged in the end zone. I mean,
No
like,
pass interference.
but I mean, you're not going to see anything. You're seeing anything from the wide, like.
Yeah, I
Where's
never
that PI
understood why
call?
they took that off the board. To be honest with you, when he caught it,
Uh,
he was certainly in.
His entire body is in.
Yeah.
Entire body is in.
But they review. They review every. Like today, there was Burrow fumbled the ball. It was running for a touchdown. I thought he was down.
Yep.
And they never looked at it. You're supposed to review every single turnover and every single scoring play, and this was both. And they never even looked at it. They never even looked at it. And I'm
Chiefs
like,
just lined up for a 2-point conversion and he said go.
and they
Hey,
couldn't
let's-
they couldn't find a camera angle. Please stop. They have camera angles for everything. This is the game of the week. And you're trying to tell me all you have was some far end zone view. They're just full of shit. They're lying.
Let's get back to more comments there, X, because I do want to jump into the Panthers. I want to go ahead and talk about
Horrible.
Panthers, the mighty, mighty Panthers.
Drew says, I wonder who's more pissed off, X or We Hoping. It's X. TJ,
Oh.
the clips were sent in. They're hilarious.
Yes, Grumpy. We do have a few clips, a few memes to send in there. Now, we'll get to the Tua stuff because we need to make sure we have an appropriate amount of time. Grumpy, you did see that the Ravens, they did lose. And by the way, injury news is an update. Hollywood Brown is going to be out the entire regular season at least.
Out for the year.
Grumpy, look at
Oh,
this.
look at this. Mom and dad finished off the basement. I mean,
The
that's
attic.
He's in the attic.
yeah.
No, he's no longer in the attic. He's no longer in the attic. Look
No,
at this.
maybe they
Grump.
finished off the attic.
Oh, okay. Let's look.
That's what it looks like to me.
I can't listen to all this.
Our fucking team is 0-2. We were in the AFC Championship last year.
Internet. And have you met my friend Owen? Owen
The AFC Championship last year.
I like.
We were 0-2.
You know the thing I always wonder about this guy Lee Hoopin? How long does this little act and this little stick around, right? Like I wonder the same thing for Frank. Frank, I think his is going to work until he's old and gray and dead.
Okay. The
But Lee
difference is
Hoopin, I wonder
Frank's
how
is
long.
not a skit. Frank's is not a skit, buddy. We Hoopin's definitely is acting. I strongly believe that's how Frank acts.
I think when you see Wee Hoopin show more male pattern baldness than he's showing now, and it's coming, I think that's when it ends for him. You can kind of tolerate it since he's a child, but when you start getting the male pattern baldness acting like that, people kind of like, yeah, grow up, kid.
People still love Frank the Tank. Maybe
Yeah,
we
but he's
will just start wearing
sucking on
hats.
something. He's sucking
can't
on
see.
a whistle or something. I don't know.
It's
He's a
his
little
chew
bit
toy.
different.
Don't worry, we've got some Frank the Tank updates here, Grumpy. Don't you worry, buddy. But that was from Wee Hoopin. Who would have figured? Now, X, continue through comments here because I'm going to be popping up a few little things along the way.
Alex Monroe says Saints demolished the Cowboys 44-19. The Bucks stunned the Lions in Detroit. Raiders stunned the Ravens in Baltimore. Vikings beat the 49ers, but at what cost with Justin Jefferson getting hurt? Also, the Cardinals stunned the Rams 41-10. I'm just going to say something else. When you put something, you have to use different adjectives for each team. They can't all be stunned. Okay, you use three. There were four. You mentioned 5 teams. 3 of them used the word stun. You have to mix it up. Demolish is good. Beat, hammer, crush, stuff like that. You cannot use the same adjective every single time.
Little stun gun.
What's the deal with Georgia and why they barely squeaked by Kentucky yesterday, fellas? Georgia's just not as good.
I didn't even watch the game.
That's the
I
game.
didn't watch the game. I wound up watching some highlights and post. I was asleep by the time the game was going.
Kentucky wound up throwing that game away. The lesser teams find ways to lose when they should win. It just happens over and over and over again. They're not used to the situation. They wind up losing. It's funny. I looked at some highlights of the Notre Dame loss to Northern Illinois.
Oof.
The officials really screwed Northern Illinois on a third down play. The guy made the first down by about 1.5 yards.
Called him short.
And they said he was short.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, that's just not right. It wasn't even close. Even the announcers like, it's not even close. Think about that. And that's on the Notre Dame broadcasting channel, NBC.
NBC, yes, who's licensed just carry Notre Dame games.
I mean, that wasn't even close. And they gave him another shot, and thank goodness it didn't work. And congratulations to Northern Illinois. And that head coach was really emotional for his guys. And like I said, if I don't have a dog in the fight, and usually I don't, I root for the dog. Yeah. And for certain, I'm glad they beat Notre Dame. Cristiano, Alex Monroe says Arsenal defeat Tottenham in the North London Derby, have won 3 straight Premier League matches against at Tottenham. It's trophy season this year for the Gunners.
Oh, no, this is Derek. This is D.
Oh, this is Derek. Okay.
Nope.
I can't tell because they always are on the same and they change up the name. So this is Derek.
I was going to say, did you see what happened to Liverpool this weekend?
They lost to somebody they hadn't lost to in 60
Nottingham
years.
Forest is the first time they had lost to Nottingham Forest at home in 65 years.
In the defense of Liverpool, it's not like Nottingham Forest is up in the Premier League every single one of those 60 years.
That's true.
65 years.
Yeah, happens.
Okay, Nottingham Forest was winning English. Well, before it was the Premier League, they were winning the English League and still losing to Liverpool in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yep. 60 years is a long time ago. That's like the 1960s. 1950s.
And by the way, D, definitely not trophy season for the Gunners, at least for the Premier League title. That's going to Man City again.
I don't think City wins.
I do. They look absolutely. Who's going to beat them? They look dominant.
Holland's got 9 goals in 4 games. Do you think he's going to average 2 goals a game? He's the only one who's scoring for that team.
He has to average 2 goals a game for him to win for Norway. For Norway to get wins. So why can't he do that for Man City?
Anyway, I don't care about that, X.
Let me tell you something about X. He's the king of the rabbit hole. There's not a rabbit hole he ain't going down. Not one.
Yes, I think Man City's still going to win league this year. I think it'll be 5 in a row for them.
I think they lose league this year. I think that their lineup inconsistencies are going to cost them. Pep is getting too much in his own head. They're losing this year. They're not winning the league. You can mark that down now. This is week 4 in the Premier League or week 5. You can mark that down now. Man City doesn't win. And I said that earlier too. City won't win the league this year. Here you go. Derek Monroe.
Derek Monroe says Alvin Kamara turned back the clock 5 to 6 years with his performance today against the Cowboys. He was really good.
The weird question I have about Alvin Kamara is he a borderline Hall of Fame caliber player?
Curb stomped the hell out of just about anybody in the country.
No. Serious question, though. He's still playing at a very high level at his age, which is old now for running back. I think that puts him in Hall of Fame talks.
Yeah. I mean, considering how the running back position has been minimized, and he just keeps on doing it year after year, why not? He's good. Been really good for a long time.
I think it really helps they don't hit the players as hard anymore.
Tony Cheese. Well, yeah, the physicality is pretty much out of the game. You can only tackle certain guys like on certain days, certain times of the afternoon, whatever. Tony Cheese says TJ's is staying at the same Airbnb that Grump stayed at.
Whoa.
That is true. We are staying at the same exact Airbnb. It's called the living room. Derek Monroe, Grump.
What about the one that was just up there about Caleb Williams?
I'm sorry, Caleb Williams has 0 running backs to work with. Genuinely sad too, because he looks good so far.
He has not looked good. He's getting exposed as, you know what, you can run around in college with everybody playing the spread where there's no defense. Can't do that in the pros.
Is Keenan Allen out today?
He is out today.
Okay. Damn, that's going to hurt him.
Derek Moreau says Messi 2 goals and assists in his return from injury match last night. Back with a vengeance, fellas. It's the first time he's played since January. I think he's in the line to win Ballon d'Or. Is he not?
Another Ballon d'Or coming?
Yep, it's actually be the first time ever a player not nominated is going to win based off of a
Who
performance.
hasn't played all year?
He did win the World Cup back in 2022, so that does give him some standing to win, the Ballon d'Or in 2024. I think
That's
so.
how he won it in 2023, wasn't it? And
Yep, yes, it
2022.
was.
Okay.
Yep, it was. There you go. Tony Fitzlittlecheese says Son X must believe in every conspiracy theory.
Just the ones that are proven true.
Oh boy.
Drew L. Grumpy.
Grumpy, I would agree with your sentiment on coaches losing games unless that player was Lamar Jackson. Then the player loses the games in that instance.
Lamar blows. Lamar's not a good quarterback. And I don't know how many more times I can listen and see freaking Robert Griffin III continue to defend him and talk about how great he is. And Robert Griffin III is just taking L's and sour milk taste every fucking time because I've never seen this guy find a hill that he doesn't want to die on. That's just the absolute wrong take. I'm happy he's been fired from ESPN because he's been wrong on everything.
Here's the thing. Here's what I think's happening because he even defended that it was that it was pass interference on today's play. I think he's trying to do anything he can to get back in the NFL's good graces to get a job.
And what's
trying
the way
to get
to
on
do it?
Goodell's good side.
Suck off the league.
There
Yep.
you go. For me, Lamar Jackson is not a great quarterback. I thought he turned the corner last year. I really did. And then he went back to what he was against the Chiefs, and it hasn't changed.
A runner.
He's just a runner who has a really, really strong arm. And here's the thing. He's a serviceable quarterback, but you're never going to win a championship with him. You're just not. And that's a shame. Drew says, I wouldn't call Canellis a failure. It's the future XFL MVP, Bryce Young. Yeah, Bryce Young is brutal.
Let's put this up. Do you remember, I don't know, even last year you guys were defending.
Yeah, I absolutely were. Absolutely.
Bryce Young sucks. I'm on the train now. I think he blows. I take full responsibility in saying that he was good, but he blows. He sucks. I'm with the hype train. I'm hit with the hype train that he blows.
Okay. See, I'm just going to say one thing. CJ Stroud has looked good. It also helps that he went to a team that has
a lot of
ownership and a real. I think DeMarco Ryans is what, top 6 or 7 coach in the league. I think he's phenomenal. The staff he picked, the team they put around him helps him succeed. They're not afraid to go out and get guys like Joe Mixon, somebody who can run the ball hard, get those hard yards for first down.
Mixon's done.
No, he's not.
Joe Mixon is not done.
Joe Mixon looked damn good last week.
And tonight also. He gets the hard yards. Cincinnati misses him. But here's the thing. Cincinnati is Cincinnati. They just don't want to
Cincinnati blows. Cincinnati blows. Burrow is not clutch. We'll get to it. But yeah, Bryce Young, I mean, like, I'll let you watch some of the clips. It's bad. I mean, like, it looks like he's in give up mode already.
This dude is fucking terrible. What the fuck do you see?
This sounds like X.
Please put the volume all the way up on this video and restart it.
What is he looking at?
It kind of sounds a little like X too, kind of that.
Play from the beginning. Play from the beginning. So Grump can.
This dude is fucking terrible. What the fuck do you see? What the fuck do you see, bro?
Looks like he's about to start crying, by the way. Look at this.
Mahomes throws passes like that all the time, dude. You see a lot of quarterbacks doing it. It's like, what are you looking at?
Look at him. He looks like he's about to give
Now,
up.
I will say, granted, I don't know what else this guy's going to say in the video. I've not listened to it. So,
okay.
What is he looking at?
I will say this. They've got zone right here, and he's throwing.
He's hoping the guy is frozen, the linebacker is frozen, the guy's going to come across.
The safety is coming down. The safety's rolling down.
He's got a lot of space in between. I don't think the other guy looks like he's flat-footed, the linebacker who dropped back.
There's two defenders right there. You're already
stares
throwing
his
the
guy
ball
down. That's the problem.
Even
He stares his guy down. See, then he breaks back.
I've got bad news. I've got bad news for you guys.
He's throwing to the
There's
open
a reason ticket prices are $1.80.
What?
Okay, he's throwing to the open spot, but the problem was he looked right at the wide receiver, enabled the linebacker to make the adjustment and come over the middle. That's the problem. He didn't look him off at all, which gave him that opportunity, because I see where he's throwing the ball, but he doesn't. He just stares him down, which lets the up guy just follow the pass over, and that's the reason the play was made. If he just throws it and doesn't bird dog him, the guy's wide open. He's wide open underneath the safety.
That would have been a better pass. That would have been a better pass. Why are you passing into double coverage trying to force Steve Johnson?
Those two wide receivers are standing still.
I know. He's a squeaky little kid. But anyway, the reason I'm showing the clip is because I'm like, I will say this much. My God, just like he's in complete give up mode at this point. I think that he's done. I think his time in the NFL, at least as a starting QB, should be over before the end of the season.
About to throw a pick. Play even started.
Oh God, let's see. I just want to see the pick thrown. That's all. Is he not going to hit play on the end? Anyway, again, like Bryce Young is just making mistakes left and right. You even got little pick squeak little fans who are flipping a shit over it, which I kind of like. You know, we're going to talk about some other guys who are struggling as well.
Are we going to talk about Noodles today?
We are going to talk about Noodles. Speaking about in that same Panthers game, Justin Herbert, holy shit. I'll let you watch the hit, and we'll see what the degree of the injury is. I'll let you watch him walking off. But, man, oh, man, look at this hit that happened to Justin Herbert.
One thing,
Herbert is tough as nails because I don't know how many quarterbacks are getting up for a miss.
Isn't that a horse collar?
Oh, my God, look at this shit. He's been bent like an accordion. This is his body going down.
Is that not roughing the passer in a horse collar?
Or horse collaring? Looks like he grabbed him from the back of the jersey.
No, he's got him. He's got
Somebody's got him by the back of the jersey.
You see his jersey? That's a penalty in the NFL
Somebody's
now.
got him by the back of the jersey.
They called it on the Ravens. That's a penalty.
He's got him by the back of the jersey.
It's a clean tackle.
No, he's got him by the back of the jersey.
That does look like helmet to helmet. Look at this. Boom. I am
well,
seeing an immediate helmet to helmet contact. But
if that was
like,
Mahomes, those two players would be kicked out of the league.
It's the reason why I'm in favor for the NFL just letting people batter the hell out of each other.
Let him play.
Let him play. Let him play, boys. That's what I'm fine with. So, I mean, like, he just gets bent up like an accordion. Look at this shit. He's got that big 95 bastard laying on top of him. Boom. Just watching this makes me blow both my knees out. I'm like, holy shit.
Well, the other guy horse collared him to drag him down to set up the headshot. It was a smart play.
Now, I'll let you watch this. He's walking off the field. Look at this shit. At the end of the game, now he obviously is with a little bit of a limp, but I don't know. Maybe he'll be back.
He's tough.
Remember last year when he broke some ribs and he didn't miss any time during the game?
If that was Tua, do you think they'd have to cart him off the field?
Oh
do you think he'd have to be ambulanced off the field?
Please. If he'd be walking around like this, he would have went back to the locker room like this.
All righty, come. Let's look at this. Is the news, right? So for those who, let's play the clip. Get right to the clip, guys.
He wasn't even hit hard.
This is the hit.
That's not a hard hit.
He laid the hit and he did the thing again with his hands.
He ran into the guy's into his bicep.
He needs to retire.
Oh.
Bro needs to retire. He needs to stop playing football for his own health. Literally needs to retire. He ran into
a guy who was clinically dead 2 years ago.
Yes.
He needs to retire.
With his hands again. He should. It's over. It's over, Tua.
He needs to retire. He needs to hang up the cleats.
You just signed yourself the huge contract. Congratulations. They were dumb of them. They were dumb as a franchise to give it to you because you have this type of issue. You can't, you know what I mean? Like you've had multiple concussions. You've had ankle surgeries. You've had back. Who the hell knows? You've had knee surgery. You're a guy who's a walking your glass jaw at this point. You should not be playing football. Nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't be playing football anymore. Now, here's the thing that should, I guess, throw everybody into a little bit of a like, what the fuck, bro? Tua has no plans to retire, and is seeing a concussion specialist per Ian Rappaport.
Dude, do you remember he's gonna be eating out of a straw next year.
Do you remember when he was taking karate? So he learned how to fall. It looks like he's forgotten.
He was taking jujitsu, Grumpy. Jujitsu is what he was taking.
Okay, sure.
I will tell you this much.
He needs to hang him up, dude. He needs to hang him up.
It's over.
I think he already has more concussions than Luke Kuechly had.
When you get multiple concussions, you're more prone to get more concussions in the future, and the magnitude of the concussion gets worse. Now, here's the thing. He plays a position that doesn't really get hit very often. He plays besides kicker, quarterback is one of the least contact positions there are in the sport. There are plays where you're handing the ball off, you're not getting touched. There are plays when you're getting the ball off in a clean pocket, you're not getting touched. You'll get knocked down sometimes in some game. Oh, man, you got knocked down 15 times today. Whoa, that's worth talking about. Getting hit 15 times. Every other position gets hit. They hit their helmets against other guys. They make tackles, whatever it is. He plays one of the most non-contact positions there are in the sport, and he can't prevent like concussions on the regular. It needs to be done. He needs to call it. He needs to call it a day. They lost. They got killed. Now here's the thing: they're getting dominated before he got that concussion. That it's not like that concussion knocked him out, and that's what cost him the game. But here's the thing: the Dolphins are 1-11 in their last 12 games against teams with a winning record.
They suck.
1-11. They are your Dallas Cowboys of the AFC East. That's what the Miami Dolphins are. That's it.
I really thought that Buffalo was going to take a step back this year. Buffalo seems like, you know what, getting rid of Stephon Diggs seems like it's worked wonders for them because
Gabe Davis.
Now they spread Gabe Davis was not a problem. They spread the ball around to everybody now.
Except for Dalton Kincaid.
Really? He had quite a few catches the other night. They
7
spread the
fantasy
ball
points
around.
garbage.
The open guy gets the ball, and they don't have to. And they were Josh Allen was kind of alluding to it a little bit, saying, yeah, everyone has to step up. Stephon Diggs isn't here anymore. And, we just kind of whoever's open and, they don't mind blocking. It's not about the individual. It's about the team. That's a slam at Stephon Diggs.
Who is the new wide receiver that they picked up in the draft this year?
I don't know.
Coleman.
Okay, so what they did was there's a mural, I guess, in Buffalo that used to be of Josh Allen and Diggs. They covered up the Diggs mural and covered up the face and stuff. They put the jacket on of the Coleman kid that they drafted. So now it's the Coleman kid in Allen, which is a shot at Diggs. They pretty much got rid of him. The city has.
He's done. I mean, he's done. I mean, he's no longer there. And here's the thing: he's a problem. Now, this is something that I did want to bring up here too, regarding the Panthers. One last thing on the Panthers, because everybody likes to kick the guy when they're down. The Panthers have not had a lead in the last 272 days. They have not had a lead since December 17th of 2023.
All right, that's that's really not that long ago. You're talking about the end of the year and 2 games into this season.
I mean, the last week of the season. What is it? Regular season. I'll pull it up, Grumpy. They haven't had a lead in 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, they're not a good team.
6 or 7 games, they haven't had a lead, not once. It's not like they got the ball once and kicked a fucking field goal or scored a touchdown on the first drive. They have not had a lead in a game.
That game that they won against Atlanta, that was the game where it was pouring down rain. It was a slog fest. I think there were about 12 fans in the stands. It was awful.
How much? I know you did some checking. How much of the cost of Atlanta, Carolina tickets?
A pair of tickets sold for $1.80.
$1.80.
It costs more to park your car than to go to the game. A hot dog from the stadium costs more than the tickets to go to the game.
But I'm sure there's charges on there too. That's the way they hammer you on,
Oh, probably, but still, I guarantee you it's probably cheaper.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if it's a percentage of what you're paying.
They have gone 5 regular season games without a lead at any point. That's all I'm saying. But let's get back through some comments here because we'll have a few things I want to mix into.
Okay.
Tony Chi says Alex is one of the 10 people committed to the pod. Well, it's not even him; it's his brother. So. Drew said Tua isn't retiring. He's not living until 45 at this rate.
Yeah.
I could care less if he plays or not. It's kind of fun watching him go.
I'm just saying for his own health, for his own health, he should retire.
He should continue.
At this point, if he gets another concussion, I have no sympathy for him. How many concussions and severe concussions do you need to have? And it's not like he just got concussed and now I want to play. He said he was going to talk to a physician, a neurologist, and get their opinion. What neurologist said, hey, get back out there, suit up and put the pads on, get out there and play some more football? There's no fucking neurologist that would say he's acting AMA against medical advice at this point is what I have
Let me tell you something. So what I did see was apparently with his contract, the $124 million of which he is owed, if he is medically not cleared to play, if they don't advise him to play and they say you should retire, if he's medically suggested to retire, he gets paid out that full amount of money. If he's not, then he doesn't get paid that money and he decides to retire, he won't get paid that money. So what I'm thinking is he probably already got the verdict that, hey, you're not medically cleared to retire. So he's trying to figure out a way to continue to play. That's my guess.
I think he should continue playing just for my enjoyment when he gets knocked out.
Okay. Here's the thing. there's no way a neurologist would say, you've had a handful of concussions here, and every single time you get kind of tapped in the head, you do like this fencing, like where you seize up with your hands. You should keep playing football. I mean, usually it was like the 3 concussion rule. If you have 3 concussions, you get a 4th one, you're not allowed to play anymore. And that was like college.
I just disagree with you. Say a handful. I think he's had a steam shovel's worth of concussions.
Probably. Remember, Brett Favre said he had thousands or millions of concussions, whatever the hell he said when he was playing. So,
he had millions of blurred vision out there on the field.
There you go. Frank says, hey, what's up, big audience? What's up, Frank? He also says, you should be talking about the Jets, baby.
Come on, Grump, you're winning the Super Bowl, dude. Come on.
I'm underwhelmed.
You said earlier,
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is
Super Bowl
champions,
champions, man. You got it tattooed on the leg, 2024.
Is it me or is Aaron Rodgers? I mean, I think he still throw the ball, but I think he looks like he's
old.
Yes.
He looks like he's had one too many darkness retreats.
He twice today, he didn't call timeout. He let the clock run down and took 5-yard penalties. It's like, dude, you know what you're doing. How do you let that happen?
I will say this much. He looks a little old. Maybe it's some rust because he spent a year off. I will give him that. Maybe it's some rust. But Travis Kelce's completely finished. He's washed.
He can't run anymore.
Absolutely done.
Done.
The only reason he's still in the league is because he's dating Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, their breakup is coming soon, according to the
the 29th.
documents.
29th is coming up.
September 28th, I think.
Get ready. Mark the date in the calendars, ladies and gentlemen.
Freedom Fund Adventure says, which of these little bastards is responsible for the show notification? Were it TJ? Looks like G.
I don't know who G is, but I'll take
Grumpy's.
it. Grumpy's piano.
Yes.
It does look like Grumpy's piano. That's Grumpy's piano right over there. So, yes.
Freedom Fund Adventure adds, there is treachery afoot. Grumpy, TJ offered myself, Empire, and others free Manscaped to join Team TJ. X offers a tour of the Grumpy estate, sit on the couch, hot dog, grape drink, non-chilled.
Actually, they would be chilled. I felt
X comes over this house, and all he does is start grazing.
Starts grazing.
As a matter of fact, he was so irrational today. Like I'm like, he was losing his mind over Jamar Chase, thinking that he should not have gotten that penalty. And I'm like, dude, he needs to be more. And he was so crazy. I said, you know what? Your penalty is now you're not allowed to eat over the house for 6 weeks.
He started throwing shit and throwing.
He said 6 days. He said 6 days. I'm on a week hiatus.
Well, he probably won't be over the house for another week. So
Alexander, our friend Alexander, says the Chiefs are the luckiest team in the NFL. I think they do get some beneficial calls. I will say that.
This is them to the officials.
I don't think Mahomes has looked really great this season.
No, but I will say one thing: those guys in striped uniforms. I mean, they're throwing more passes than Mahomes is with those flags.
Here's the thing that always concerned me about Mahomes: when he lost Kelce, who was a security blanket.
Tyreek Hill.
How good was he going to be?
Oh, when he loses Kelce. Gotcha.
Kelce was always the security blanket. Tyreek Hill was, really good, but Kelce on third down, always Kelce. He's obviously lost at least a step, maybe 2. I mean, he looks slow. And you're seeing they're not as great on offense. And it's important that you have somebody to throw to. I think Rice is good. Worthy might turn out to be something, but I think the loss of Kelce is it's showing up so far. Oh, my goodness. What is this? Is this X's house?
it's another our boy. We hooping.
I tell you what, that styrofoam is kicking his ass right now.
Oh man, I kind of laugh at it. Drew did send a few more. Now, speaking of Tua, now Antonio Brown did say, he said, "Welcome to CT ESPN Tua Tagovailoa." So, I found that was funny. Now, Dolphin fans said Damar Hamlin after he knocked Tua out of the game. Oh God. Oh shit.
Couldn't you just stay dead?
God.
Christ. 2 on 4th down. We need you to make a play. But I'm
Oh! That's an oldie but a goodie. We've seen that.
Yeah. Oh, here we
No,
go.
no. What's he got in his mouth?
It's you, toy.
Here's Frank.
Baby, Walker's in front. Walker's in front. Why are you doing this to me?
Because they're laughing at him.
Get out of your way, motherfuckers! Why are you gonna fucking do this to me? Look what they're fucking doing! Look
He's
at
got a
him!
cord.
What does he have? Like
It's probably like one of those things that you used to put on your children.
a
And they
sound
like
mic?
a little like the little wrist thing. So when they walk away,
Leash.
on a little leash. Yes, Frank's got a little leash on him. He can only wander just outside the door. People will laugh at him. Then they pull him back in.
Oh, no. We gotta make sure they get his.
Right when I was out, they pull me back in.
Godfather 3.
Don't mock at me, don't celebrate! Don't fucking
Oh, he's
mock
charging his phone.
me. Fucking miserable! It's fucking over already!
We gotta get him to cool down. We gotta get him to cool down.
This is what I mean that it's not an act
Where
for Frank.
is this place?
This is Barstool
Barstool
headquarters. Who the hell knows where that is? I don't know. It's pretty much
I think
just
it's
like
in New York.
Nah, I thought it was in Boston. Who the hell knows?
Let me
New
ask you a
York,
question. Who's the best football player right now?
Tom Brady, but he's retired.
It's not
Boston. No, it's not Brady.
Josh Allen. To me, Josh Allen.
Ugh,
I think he's so good. I think he's so good.
he tries to do too much sometimes and it
Well,
costs the team.
that's what they tell him to do. I think he's the best football player right now. They're not winning because
I think the
Sean
best football player is Shador Sanders.
he's a-
We'll talk about him in a second. Don't you worry. Tony Fitz a little cheese said, "Preach, TJ. Tell him how overrated boy band Burrow is." Yeah, again, like here's the one thing. I'll tell you this much: T. Higgins, you're not playing. You're not playing. Even if you come back and say I want to play, fuck it. You're sitting on the bench, and you'll sit on the bench the next year after. And then we're just gonna go. You're going to ruin your career if you're not ready to play because you want to try to negotiate a new contract. That type of bullshit. Fuck off. You're not playing, and you know what you're gonna do? You'll be relegated to bottom tier, bottom fiddle, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say fuck you, fuck the money you're supposed to get. Play hardball with us. Fuck you. I cannot understand that. I cannot understand why guys
they're
who are under contract don't want to fucking play under the contract they're on.
They're notoriously cheap. That's their issue, though.
Sorry, you signed a contract, right? You and agreed to it.
Well, what does he not get paid? I mean, he's faking an injury, probably the hamstring.
He said, "Oh, how dare anybody? How dare any of the Bengal fans and people out there say I'm faking an injury?" Yeah, okay. I just would say, yeah, even when you come back healthy, no, we're still not clearing you. Sorry, buddy.
Well, then you're wasting. They're paying him $20-something million on the franchise tag this year.
I can't believe though he won't play making $20-something million. Think about that. He'll sit out as long as he can, and then he'll come back. Magically, he'll be healthy when now he has to start playing because there's a certain threshold. I think it's like week 5 or week 6 that he has to officially come back if he wants to get paid. Otherwise, he won't get paid.
I think
he'll magically come back and be healthy that week.
Yeah, I think I want to say it's week 8.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He'll sit out as long as he can, not get paid. And a guy like that, I'd be like, yeah, actually, you're not going to play at all. Fuck off.
We're not going to pay you.
I think it hurts him when he hits free agency.
That's what I'm saying. And guess what? I'll not let him play the last 8 games of the year. And I'll just say, oh, good. Well, go ahead. Roll the dice on a guy like that who didn't play any games this year. You maybe got another Calvin Ridley on your hands. How did that work out for him? Sat out a year due to the gambling. How did that work out when he came back? Go ahead.
Okay, that was a little bit different. He wanted to play. They suspended him.
I mean,
they suspend people for gambling, but they don't suspend him for speeding.
How did it work out for Le'Veon Bell when he sat out as a year as a running back? When skilled players sit out a year, they don't ever fucking come back. Never, ever. If it's not due to injury and they're sitting out, just sitting on the couch and eating fucking Pop-Tarts and Bun Buns, they're not fucking coming back.
Bun Buns? What's a Bun Bun?
It's bonbons.
Is that a hybrid between a bonbon and a honey bun? A bun bun?
A bun bun. Here you go. Freedom Fund Adventure, Grumpy.
I didn't want Tua. I didn't want to resign him. I thought he should play on his 50-yard team option. I thought the Dolphins needed to invest in offensive line, especially interior, and replace Armstead. Excellent when he plays. Armstead's finished. They never should have re-signed him. Last year was and I predicted last year that would be the year he'd be healthy, contract year.
Yeah.
And this year he gets the bag, and what happens? He's back to being noodles. I mean, do you see the pick six he threw? He couldn't even throw the ball out of bounds. He didn't have enough oomph on the ball to throw it out of bounds. His arm blows. He sucks. The best thing that could happen to them is that they terminate. They terminate his contract and just say, "We're done with you." He blows.
The best thing that could happen is if he retires, because then they'll actually move on to a quarterback that can win them games potentially.
They should sign Tannehill. They should sign Tannehill.
Do you think they regret not drafting Justin Herbert?
I don't. Okay, as much as I think Herbert can maybe be something, Herbert this year is like, okay, they're not.
Who does he have on that team?
They're a running offense now.
They're okay, but that's my thing though. Now they're limiting Herbert to say run, pass, run, pass. So it's like, okay, at that point, I'm like, really, what do you bring to the table? We don't really get to see you. He had a bad year last year, Herbert. He was banged up a bit. But I'm like, and this year, now he's in a spot to where he's not being asked to do much of anything. He throws the ball like 18 times a game. I'm sorry. You're not going to get me to say, great quarterback play. You're doing a great job, Justin Herbert, when you're throwing the ball like 18 times a game. Just won't happen.
I think what you're seeing is Harbaugh wants to play good defense, be able to control the clock. And that's what teams that aren't great, that's what they do.
I hate that. It is. You're right, though. But I hate that type of football. Hate it. Now, I will say this. Speaking of another guy, right, who is just absolutely abysmal. And I think, this is like make or break year for him. And it's been looking bad. Now, Trevor Lawrence, my God, does he look bad this year?
They're horrible, too. Their offensive line is horrid.
Their wide
receivers suck. I mean, they're a bad team. At some point in time, you can't just blame the quarterback. They just look how their offensive line, 3-man rush. 4-man rush. They're on top of him immediately. What is he going to do there?
I know. He's not going to do much anything there at that point. But he looked bad all game.
That's the way it is all game. He's under pressure all game long.
He looks bad. He looks like he's struggling. I'm just talking about in general. He looked bad all game. He looked bad last game. Jesus Christ.
This 76 was a turnstile. Holy shit. Did you see that?
76. He beat both right guys.
Through. Holy hell.
The whole thing is, 74 pushed his guy, but he had to force Lawrence up in the pocket.
74 did a fine job. That's fine. He ran the bell. Now here's the 76 got beat. Okay, are you going to tell me what happened on the offensive line play to an offensive lineman?
Your center's not blocking anybody.
Okay,
76 gets walked around.
It's a slide side. You've got the left side is a slide side protection, so you're sliding there. The right guard gets beat. The left guard gets beat. Boop. So it forces the center to take that guy who's over the D tackle. You've got two guys, your right guard and your right tackle. I know people really are enjoying this. They're picking up the stunt. They're picking up the twist. But guess what? 68 over here turns his shoulders. He turns the shoulders like that. Zoop. They don't effectively pick him up, and it allows there for that guy. But guess what? 54 is also able to put pressure on at the end as well. They're just getting beat left and right. Bad.
That's not Lawrence's fault. And this is out of shotgun. It's not like he's even under center. They just walk right through their offensive line. Walk right through. Just think about it. Think about how bad Miami is. Jacksonville absolutely dominated Miami last week. If Etienne doesn't fumble at the 1, and that game's over, and Miami's 0-2. I really thought Miami had a shot to win division this year. I did. They have no shot. None.
Here's some interesting stats. At halftime of today's game, Lawrence had 16 yards passing, Bryce Young 22, Malik Willis 25, and Anthony Richardson 41 yards passing.
Yeah, safe to say people who own Michael Pittman Jr. as a wide receiver option, you probably shouldn't be playing him.
But this is what I mean. This is what I mean, though. The league, the quarterback play is just bad across the board.
Because all of them are running backs.
Is it me, or is just the league play just the last 2 or 3 years really down?
Yeah, I agree.
Really down. Ever since Brady left. I'm not saying it's because Brady left, but I think the league has absolutely turned to I don't know what it's turned into. We don't practice. There's no practice. There's no hitting during practice. There's nothing. It's like just bringing guys in off the street and, hey, let's play some street ball. The tackling is atrocious. The execution is horrible. It's just bad. Just a bad product. And the
agree.
games are all close. The league loves it because all the games come down to the last couple of minutes for the most part.
The football purists like you, myself, Grumpy, and Son
Oh,
X aren't big
oh.
fans.
Yeah, Sun X.
Frank Grumpy.
If I wanted to watch WWE, I'd turn Raw on Monday night, SmackDown on Monday night.
Frank from Empire State says that little squawky kid sounds like Sun X 10 years ago. Actually, I'd say 10 minutes ago. Freedom from Adventure says, did you guys see the horrific targeting call on the Gators at Texas A&M game? It was on Bridges. Never saw that call before. Grumpy, you're about to become a Dolphin fan, and I'm ready for it.
Now, Brady said he's not coming out of retirement to play for the Dolphins.
Absolutely not. They had their shot to get him, and Brian Flores shot that down by spitting the bit and talking shit. But I guess he was right about Noodles, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Soft. You know, the whole thing is the good guy coach thing only lasts for so long. You saw in the Buffalo game, the game was close to over. You saw Hill out, Waddle out, and you just saw them sitting on the bench, and they were just like, whatever. They didn't cheer anybody else or do anything. It's like they'd given up. That's a bad look. Even if you're taken out of the game, you should still be up rooting your teammates on, particularly if you're a star. Particularly.
Yes, I agree.
They just didn't do it. I mean, the announcers even mentioned it. I was surprised they just got steamrolled by Buffalo. Steamrolled.
You wonder what that's going to look like for him this year. You know what I mean?
They don't have a quarterback. They don't have a backup quarterback. They got the Skylar Thompson guy. He sucks.
He sucks. He's horrible.
Now, I'll look for the targeting call.
I think they should sign Tannehill. I really do.
Now, this is something X sent me that he wanted us to put up. Speaking to lock up the line here.
See what he dials up. 6 out of 7 on third down so far. Blitz is picked up. Willis now in trouble. He gets away again. Malik Willis.
Now,
they asked Malik Willis on third down why he didn't throw the ball, and he said it's because the center puked on it.
Okay, throw the fucking football, you puss. I'm like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, seriously.
Did he really say that?
Yes. Yep. The ball had some sweat on it. It had some throw up on it. It had some. Throw the fucking ball. Throw the fucking ball. It's third down and forever. And you're like, I'm not going to throw this one. I'm just going to run it because somebody threw up on it.
Here's the sad thing. That center puked all over the football right before the play happened. He still blocked better than the Jacksonville offensive line.
Yeah.
That's the truth, too. Oh, my God. Frank says, Yankees the huge win. Yanks and Jets, baby. Now, Aaron Judge had a grand slam, Grumpy.
He hadn't hit a home run in 16 straight games, which just happened to coincide with me playing Sun X in the Family League Championship, which it looks like it's going to be a tie between X and myself. So well, I don't know who wins in that.
Whoever had the best regular season record wins.
We both had the same regular season record.
Then it goes down to something else. I don't know.
Maybe head to head. I don't know who won. I think we played twice. I don't know who won.
No, head to head record wins. Anyway, okay. So Frank says, yeah, because he forgot to slide. He has so many concussions already. Yeah, I mean, he should never be looking to take a hit.
It looked like Giselle. Look at my manly hands. Looking at me.
Grumpy comment.
I agree Tua should retire. He does some excellent things, like what? Eat on the field, a few other, but time to retire. Grady wants to compete and collect the rest of the contract, but be able to enjoy it right now. I don't care. I don't care if he goes back out there and gets lit up next time he goes out. What are the chances you think he comes back this year?
He'll come back, but it's going to be so. You know what it's going to be like? I'm trying to think. What was it like when Muhammad Ali was like absolutely battered and he went out there one more time and he just got
he just got a couple of fights. Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid it's going to look like. And he's going to go out there and just get hammered once, and he's going to be like, it's not good. Anytime, okay, for any Dolphin fan out there, when he gets hit and taken to the ground, and you're not like, oh, I hope he gets back up. That's not a guy that should be playing football. That's not a guy who should be playing sports like that, contact sports anymore. That's fine. There are guys like that. He shouldn't be playing contact sports. It was a good run while you had it. You won a national championship. You played in the NFL. Enjoy the rest of your life so you're not like, having severe CTE and ending up like, Brown. I mean, like,
is there anything that can stop that now? severe.
I think it's already
CTE.
set in. They might as well just keep sending him out there.
He's got little
Now,
spider webs all over his damn brain.
This is a targeting that they're talking about.
That's
Okay.
a terrible call.
It is a terrible call. But what they're trying to say is targeting is like leading with the crown of your helmet.
I don't care.
I don't care
what
either.
happens to any of these players. I do not care. I don't care. You get paid. Here's the thing. These guys get paid a lot of money too to go to play college. I don't care. You get paid a lot of money to put your body on. It's like the gladiator days, except you get paid money. You're just not fed to the freaking lions.
It's like the military. It's like the military.
Just keep on going. I don't care that you.
Your body belongs to the NFL.
The guy goes up in the air. What should he do? Just let him catch it and run around? I don't care. Get rid of all these silly rules.
It's like,
goes.
honestly, it's like the military. It's not like they're going to say, hey, this is a hot war zone over here. You have the possibility of death. We're not going to send you out there because, we want to protect you. No, they send them out there.
You want to stop helmet-to-helmet contact? Take the helmets off the players. They won't lead with their heads.
Drew says every time Tua gets hit in the head, he proceeds to throw up gang signs. Oh, man. God. Anyway, now I'll put this up. Grumpy, I don't know if I showed you. Tunga Vailoa is also playing for Nebraska. Patrick Mahomes is playing for Nebraska here, Grumpy. I'll let you watch.
He flipped his commitment from Georgia to Nebraska last winter, and it was a huge deal.
They're trying to say that this kid's trying to cosplay as Patrick Mahomes.
It looks like it does. Does it not look like him?
He's kind of okay because he's a light-skinned guy wearing number 15 doesn't mean he's Patrick Mahomes.
It's the hair. It's the headband.
Well, that's the type of hair. I mean, like that's what's in right now.
He wears the glasses.
Oh, he wears glasses too?
The same exact ones that Mahomes wears. Yeah.
Mahomes wears glasses?
He wears those little pit viper looking things.
I didn't even know that. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. They call him Mini Mahomes.
Nice way to make fun of an injury, Drew.
Drew, not cool, dude.
Go ahead. Free and fun adventure.
Tua can easily get into coaching or broadcasting. No, he couldn't. Meanwhile, the Islanders camp is underway. Salary cap still issue, and so is the roster. I don't trust Lou. I don't like Lou. I don't even think his wife likes him.
Brother.
Drew said it's going to be between the Giants and the Panthers, between who will be the worst teams in the league. I don't think you're leaving out Denver. They're hard. I don't think they're going to score 50 points the whole year. They're hideous.
Germany's last compensation for World War II is the Giants and the Panthers are playing there.
Are they playing? Who's playing?
Yeah, the Giants and the Panthers are playing. That's their last way to pay back.
Now, the Giants really quickly today did not have a backup kicker on the roster, so they did not attempt but one extra point, and they wound up losing. What was it, by like 1 or 2 points today?
They missed by a field goal right at the end. They had a chippy field goal to hit, but they didn't even send the guy out there. It's like, don't the punters actually practice taking kicks too?
Yes, they do. They should know how to kick.
Why not roll a guy out there? At least try. If you're putting your faith in Daniel Jones to throw touchdown passes over having somebody in the stands kick a field goal, I don't know what you're talking about.
He sucks. He's an awful QB. I mean, simple as that. Now, I do want to put this up here. I thought this is interesting. The family of Blackfeet Chief there, who served as the face of the Washington Redskins for 48 years, want the team to change their name back. The fans want him back, and we want him back, the family told Fox. 90% of Native Americans supported the Redskins name.
Absolutely. It's the Wokies who want to cancel. They wanted to cancel the name out. That's what it is.
Anyway, the way I look at this is I'm like, if the chief, the family of the chief, and the tribe and the Native Americans support the team name, why the fuck did you get rid of it?
It's the Wokies.
Anyway, let's continue on here. Alexander Grumpy.
Anyone who wants to make fun of Tua's injury, I'm sorry. You're just a scumbag.
Grumpy. Scumbag Grump.
Scumbag
Grump.
Rodgers is washed. I've been saying this for the past year.
He definitely looks like he's – here's the thing. I will give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's because he's just now getting back to playing shape.
He didn't look sharp mentally, which is surprising. It makes you wonder if he really wanted to come back and play.
Maybe. Freedom Fund Adventure, Grump.
If I was in charge of the Dolphins with Tua's injury, I'd begin selling off Armstead, Hill, a few others. They already have an extra pick in 25 and can get more. Looks like a strong quarterback draft. Anything you learned about the Dolphins and their general manager, they can have a boatload of picks. They'll mismanage those. They always have.
Like drafting Shedeur Sanders.
Ugh, He's horrible.
Oh my God! Could you imagine the? Oh, let's.
No.
You're teasing it. We're going to jump into Shedeur Sanders here in a second. Drew L. Grumpy.
By the way, also Grumpy just performed another audition tape that I sent.
Oh God! Yeah, there it is. That must have been the other one. Frank Grumpy.
He needs a therapist. Stat.
Oh gosh. Here you go. Oh God. Here you go. Hey, X, start hitting the fucking comments, X. What are you doing?
Dude, there's a lot of them in there.
Rodgers looked 10 billion% better than Jones, Drew.
It's true. He did.
We don't claim Frank the Tank, says Alexander.
Grumpy's Goosebumps audition tape here. Let's take a look.
I'm just saying for his own health. For his
It's Grumpy's Goosebumps. It's such a long time.
I'm just saying for his own health. For his.
Oh shit! I thought that was you talking. I didn't know
that was me trying to talk, and Grumpy just kept going the whole time.
I thought that was you now talking. I'm thinking to myself.
No.
I'm like, X, shut the hell up. Coma Vailoa. Oh no.
Coma Vailoa. That's
cheese. Frank.
Frank from Empire State says, figures he's a drag fins fan. Drag fins. Okay, drag fins. I'm the real mother effer, Frank the Tank, not the special needs kid. LOL.
Okay. Mahomes dummies says Mitchell Evans.
Jones is finished. Drew says Jones is finished. Can't even get our new quarterback. The neighbor's kid looked pretty good though, catching the ball, except for the one at the end when he dropped it. That would have, moved him to the 10. So they wouldn't have scored and wouldn't have kicked the extra point field goal or anything like that. Frank says, I actually feel bad for Tua as a Jets fan. I was screaming, slide, slide. I don't know.
My thing is he needs to quit. He needs to retire. Anytime he gets honestly just tapped in the head at this point in time, he's getting concussed.
Like I said, he wasn't even hit that hard.
No.
He initiated the contact.
Which tells you he is extremely prone to getting concussions now. He needs to retire. Hang him up, buddy. You had a good run. You're done.
Well, I don't think he had that good a run, but he's done.
I'm just saying, you played a couple years. It's time to retire. It's time to stop.
Tony Chi says, I only feel bad for Tua when Alex isn't in the chat.
Nobody to defend him. Florida State, by the way, is 0-3 to start the season.
I saw a reason why. There was something that showed a reason why.
Why was that, Grumpy?
I should have sent it to you. It showed why they're 4 and why they're 0-3.
Why are they 0-3, Grump?
I didn't send it to you. It's a video.
Okay, don't worry about it. Anyway, so DJ Uiagalelei, he's a super senior, a redshirt senior there, leaving Oregon State.
Waste management? Is that what it said?
Yes, waste management. He's garbage.
He sucks.
So he's awful, is right. Florida State is 0-3. Yikes. 0-3. Woof. Simple as that. Let's continue on here, though. Freedom Fund Adventure.
TJ next. Pull up the bar scene from Invincible movie. There is a character called Grumpy who she's a tall blonde wearing a Giant shirt. I believe it's a nod to when Grumpy met the warden and became a New York Giant fan.
I would, but I'm not sure if that's going to get our stream automatically taken down. The movies are one of those odd little spots there.
Drew says Jones at this point is Bryce Young if he lived up to his potential.
They're both bad. They're both pretty much as bad as it gets. Jacob deGrom, by the way, was on the mound there for the first time in 504 days.
It's a long time.
He pitched kind of well. Anyway, we're going to talk about that. Now, I'm not sure if you happen to see this. Kyler Murray connecting with Marvin Harrison Jr. Look at this. I'll tell you, that's a beautiful throw. I'm not a big Kyler Murray guy.
He's really good. I know you don't like him. I think he's really good.
That wasn't even the best play he made of the day, by the way.
He's not good. But, yeah, these type of throws, great throw. Great.
Fake to Connor.
Just look at this.
Murray on the rollout.
He's got a strong arm like that. Gets him in stride like that. That's about as good as the throw gets. And now this is the first touchdown. This is the first touchdown. Marvin Harrison Jr. had no catches last game. Obviously, he got 2 today. There's the first one. Nice catch by Marvin Harrison Jr. there for the touchdown. Don't
Don't you think he should wear white shoes? It makes him look faster. He looks slow in those black shoes.
Sometimes they do that. Like we once had. Oh no, obviously. Well, some guys wear white shoes. Is he the only one? Yeah, he's the only one wearing black shoes out there. What the hell is he doing?
He wants to look slow, and believe me, he does.
Gruffneck on it.
Frank from Empire State says Rodgers is babying his surgery leg, but he can still sling it. Missed a year in it, all the preseason games, but yeah, he's old. He just doesn't look like the same guy. That's all.
Okay, again, could be. I mean, he's got Grumpy. I said I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for a few games. And
This Maria Taylor girl, she's out there and she does like the NBC game.
Yeah, she's tall. We get it.
I tell you what, and she likes to wear those mini skirts. She's got some nice legs on her, and she's not afraid to show them off. She's tall too.
Arch Manning Jr., by the way, his top speed yesterday hit 20.7 miles an hour. Tyreek Hill's top speed all of 2024 has been 20.3 miles. Is Arch Manning Jr. faster than Tyreek Hill, Grumpy?
No.
That's what they're trying to go ahead and look for. I just am like, yeah, come on. Like, now he did, Texas killed their team. Texas is good, as we mentioned before. And Arch
he
Manning
started
Jr.
yesterday because Quinn Ewers was out.
He got
I
hurt.
thought Quinn Ewers played too.
He got injured. Quinn Ewers got injured.
And they're thinking Arch Manning is going to win the Heisman now.
What are you talking about?
That's what they're saying all of a sudden.
As soon as Quinn Ewers comes back, he's starting.
I'm just saying.
Quinn Ewers is not going to.
I'm saying it just tells you once again the ridiculousness of talking about Heisman Trophy.
The one thing I will say though,
2, 3, 4, 5, or 6.
The one thing I will say though, Quinn Ewers gets hurt a lot. That's the one worry that I have for him. He gets hurt a lot.
He had an abdominal strain. Here's the thing. They were kicking the living shit out of UTSA, and they didn't want to continue to play him. They're killing him.
I'm just saying he was hurt last year, and he got hurt the year before that. He gets hurt a lot. He does. He didn't miss a ton of time, but he missed like a couple games the last 2 years. And he got hurt again this year. Remember, he had the shoulder injury last year, or collarbone, whatever.
Yeah, well, he wanted to play. He played the entire year last year.
Texas,
He missed time though.
Okay, that's true.
Frank from Empire State says, but Jones wasn't so bad, Drew, for the little I watched since the Jets were on. He's terrible.
I like this.
Oh, I saw this. Ooh, this one's good.
A little fan fight mixed in.
This was from week 1.
I know.
This week.
This is from week 1.
One guy's off bounds.
This is from the late night game.
Wait, you get to see somebody wears a crimson mask in this one. Just give you the spoiler. Oh. Max Crosby's not liking those fists, man.
Whoa! Number 5.
Oh,
what
man,
the hell is 5 doing? Is 5 like a good Samaritan? What the hell's going on with Jamarcus Russell? He's like, but look at, he gets swung to the ground. He gets kicked.
He's just trying to stop.
And he starts swinging at Max Crosby. He gets swung on by this other guy.
Then they're all hitting him. What the heck? Oh, then the women get in there, start hitting this poor guy.
Little crimson time.
He's leaking.
Jeez Louise.
Oh! Is that a woman?
Yes.
I like that. I mean, did you see? He gave him like a scoop slam or something.
Hold on. At the end, was he about to hit him with, what is that, like the tombstone?
Little crimson time.
He's about to hit him with the tombstone. He's
looked like a rock bottom. It looked like it looked like the old Arn Anderson move, like the spine buster.
This guy looks like Boogeyman when he eats the heart. All the blood gets on his face.
Oh, goodness.
No. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, we haven't seen a fan fight in a while. There's
Frank
one other
says,
fan
by
fight.
the way, can they freaking stop plays? The Jets-Giants game are on TV at the same time. Usually they show them at different times. Drew says Malik Neighbors at least looks like a generational receiver. Okay, he looked better today. So we have something for our new quarterback once he gets drafted.
Yeah.
Drew says, in Lawrence's defense, DJ, the Browns defense is one of the best of the league.
He didn't look too good against Dallas.
Well,
he's looked bad. He's looked bad last year. He looked bad early this year.
I think it's just that
it's a make or break. It's a make or break year for him.
Yeah. Well,
right. We agree on that, right? Make or break this year.
Who, for Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
Yeah. And it seems like he's breaking.
Uh-oh, what's this? Why is this person?
This is like a mall fight. This is
I did like this one. Somebody sent this one. It was a submission. Why not play it? He's wearing a Jets jersey. Oh, so
sneak attack.
Why is this person on the knees?
Look at this punch. Look at this punch. What type of energy is he expecting
to
roundhouse punch like this?
Looks more like a clothesline to me.
It's a club. Oh man.
Oh, whoa! My goodness. They broke out a chair.
The pizza went flying.
Oh, she hit him with the pizza. There it is. That's a waste of a good pizza.
Look at this.
Pizza. Why is she getting hit with the pizza? She just late. What the hell? All she was doing is late. They're defeated.
She's missing a perfectly good pizza pie.
My goodness.
Look at it fly out. Go slow-mo. Wham! There it
got pizza box.
What the?
That was like one of those long pizzas too.
Look at the way she's like what the fuck? She's like it's almost like a W.
What's a chair?
That was a waste of a perfectly good
break out
pizza.
a chair. Look at the pizza.
Hold on. You want to know what the only arrest? You want to know the only arrest that was made in this entire clip was on the girl who wasted that pizza.
That's I was about to say.
She's coming in. Whammo!
Okay, what was she expecting a cardboard box like a pizza really to do?
I don't know. That lady fell down pretty hard when she got tapped with that cardboard box.
Okay, look at the yellow shirts. By the way, I'm sorry, yellow shirts. You've been canned from your job. Look at this.
Or is everybody 75 to 100 pounds overweight?
Look at this. Look at this guy in yellow shirt. Look at the security guy. What the hell is he doing? Look at security guy.
What was the girl on her knees to begin with? What the heck was going on?
Honestly, I thought it was a public execution.
That's what I thought. I mean, what the heck? Then she got pizza boxed. Look at everybody. This guy here.
Look at the security guard.
He's hopping around. His pants are down around his ankles. What the heck's going on?
Look at the security guard. He like taps him in his stomach. He's like, "Hey man, keep it up, baby. Keep working. Keep grinding. Keep grinding. Pop, pop. Keep."
Nobody's stopping anybody. They saw a pizza box coming. He just ignores her. Like, yo, pizza box.
He looked like Jacksonville's offensive line, just letting him right through.
She fell
There's
apart.
Trevor Lawrence getting attacked.
She launched that pizza.
Oh my goodness! I mean, that pizza's ruined now.
Look at the two security guards.
Look at these punches. I don't know this. Everyone, like I said, everyone's 50 or 100 pounds overweight. It's like, come on.
Oh my God, this is great. Nobody knows how to throw a punch to save
this one guy.
Here's my thing. Why did it stop after this? There's obviously still more fight going on. Is there a part two?
I don't know. I'll try to find it.
First of all, why did we see the beginning? We saw a little bit of the end. We saw Pizza Box, which was cool, but then we didn't see the end.
All right, continue on. More comments there, X.
Freedom Fund Red says the draft wasn't a great quarterback draft. Burrows was the best. Herbert has a really nice arm. Will probably be dealt out of the Michigan offense. Didn't he sign a contract extension, a big one?
He did. He did sign a contract extension.
Not going anywhere. Once you sign that extension, you're not going anywhere. Freedom Fund Adventure says no quarterback or offensive player can succeed without a strong offensive line. If you don't believe me, ask anyone who played with TJ, you moke.
Hold on a second.
That's a slam at you, TJ.
Next one, Grump.
Drew says the offensive line has been fine enough. Jones is the problem, and this is coming from someone who thought he finally turned the corner after the 2022 season. If you remember what we said, he parlayed one good game, the playoff game against Minnesota, into a 4-year, $80 million $4-year, $160 million contract. The whole thing is all the guarantee portion is done after this year. He will be gone.
I gotta ask Freedom from the Venture here. How did those Florida Gators look this last weekend?
Like shit.
Wow, he's taking shots at the Florida Gators.
I hate to say, like I said with CJ Langway, like he's sitting back there with all the time in the world. He's just kind of like happy feet back there in the pocket. The game was not a good game for the Gators. That's
the
all
Gators last year only beat one team with a 500 or above record. They only beat one team last year with a 500 or above record. They're not great. They're bad.
Freedom Fund Red says, anyone else get the feeling Grumpy would run away with Tom Brady if Brady asked him? That's not true.
Yes.
And here's the thing. I will say now, I heard a little bit of Brady. Was he better than last week? Yes, because he could not have possibly been any worse than he was last week. So
you better not let Brady hear that, Grump.
It doesn't matter.
He's
We're
going
trying
to
to get
remove
him on
from
the
his
show,
close
Grumpy.
friends contact.
We're in
He's gonna be removed
active
from his family
negotiation.
plan.
He does 1 week as a color commentator, and they're saying he's going to Miami. That tells you how bad he was last week. Frank from Empire State says, "Hit the thumbs up." That's right. Please do hit the thumbs up, boys. Frank from Empire said the Skins quarterback looks good too. No, he blows also.
He's good at running the ball. That's about it.
All he does is run the ball. How long before he winds up getting Robert Griffin III? How long before that happens?
Or not long.
He came up. He was injured a little bit today. I just sorry. He's not going to make it. He doesn't even throw to his wide receivers. Everything's a dump off or he scrambles. That's it. If that's your offense, you're not winning anything. What does it say about the Giants, though, right? Freedom Front Adventure says, I can't stand Brian Flores, but Hoke and a racist, not to mention a crappy coach. See, I think he's a good coach.
I think you meant to say butthole.
Okay. Butthole and a racist, whatever, maybe. But I think he was a good coach. And he certainly hit the nail on the head with Tua. He knew Tua was not good enough. Frank from Empire State says that rookie running back on the Jets is the real deal. He and Brees will be in an insane duo. That's who was the guy, number 0? He was pretty good.
Gabe Davis.
No. For the Jets.
Oh, for the Jets. Sorry. I thought you were talking about 0 from earlier today.
The running back.
Oh, God. I can't remember his name. Yeah.
Allen. That's right, Allen. Yeah, he was good today. Freedom Farmer says, Grumpy, Tannehill isn't a fit for the offense. Well, he can throw the ball. So that, as far as I'm concerned, he is a fit for that offense. Noodles can't throw the ball either, but that didn't stop them from rolling him out there every single week. Thompson is the best option at this moment and being in position to land a quarterback in the draft. That's not going to happen.
Yikes.
They're not going to cut ties with Tua. They're just not going to do it.
If he wants to play, they're still going to let him play.
That's right. And I don't think Thompson's that good. You need somebody who can actually compete in there. Tannehill, if in the right situation with those wide receivers, absolutely he could succeed. Absolutely he could. Next, X.
Come on, X.
The Chicken Wrangler says, TJ, can I live in your guest house, you rich poss?
Yes.
Poser maybe. Andrew L. says, Tua needs some Tylenol. Freedom Front Adventure goes, Son X, how will you flourish? How will you nourish yourself during your 6-day suspension? Fiance, why? Will the warden smuggle you food? The warden gets him anything he wants. She will smuggle me rations. It was Dog Z's 4th birthday today. The warden goes out, gets some special puppy cookies, gets some special food, gets some toys. Grumpy old man, not so much.
Oh, don't worry. Son X buys Grumpy Old Man all the stuff that he could possibly want for his birthday. He tells me, I buy it.
Drew says Jalen Daniels tweaked his knee earlier in the Giants game. He's not lasting the season. That's exactly what's going to happen. Freedom Fun Adventure goes, TJ, the Gators look like they'll be getting a new coach. The money people made it happen already.
Yep. Napier's just not the answer.
Expect the GM from Ohio State. Okay. Maybe athletic director?
No. They have GMs now in college athletics. When somebody told me this, I was fucking mind blown. I'm like, they have GMs in college sports now? Yeah. GMs.
Okay. And back up in Gainesville, coach. I'm not hearing anything definite. Freedom Fun Adventure says, happy birthday, Dog Z.
Thank you. He appreciates it.
Coney Cheese sent a submission of his little son there in his Sam Darnold jersey. Look at how happy his son is wearing that Sam Darnold jersey.
Oh, man. Who's looked pretty good playing for Minnesota?
Yes, he has.
That's what happens when you have a legitimate coach and weapons to play with. Sam Darnold played for those sucky Jets for how many years? Then he went to sucky Carolina. He went to San Francisco, but he never played. Okay. Yeah. It's the reason Brock Purdy, and he looked like dog shit today too. He's just a guy. But in that offense, they can make any quarterback look good. Noodles looked good, pretty good, okay, fair, marginal in Miami whenever he could stay on the field. It's
Jordan Addison didn't even play today. He wasn't even
healthy. Hurt.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I do like his disgruntled son there he's like, we trade away Sam Darnold and now he starts playing like this. Here's the thing. I wish nothing but the best for Sam Darnold. Hopefully it works out for him there.
He's looked okay. Threw a bad interception today in the red zone.
Yeah. Yours look great though. Baker.
Yeah, Baker. Oh, that's he's another guy. Cleveland all those years. Every year a new OC. Then
The
he goes
Panthers.
to Carolina. They suck. Then he goes to Tampa. All of a sudden they turn it around.
I saw something. The Panthers had him lining up. I guess this was released during practice as scout team defensive tackle.
You know what he did? He didn't cry about it. He went out there and he did it. It says something about the person. Gungun says, Grumpy, when will we see you inside of UBS? Does Phil's facts create unnecessary stress?
Yes. The answer to that
know.
is yes.
Gungun says, will Matt Martin make the team? Nope. Grumpy, did Sun-X ever replace the ice cream? Nope. He did fill up the water today because fiance Y came in and said, X, get in here and fill up that water. Of course, we had to tell him 7 times before he finally did it.
So to paint the picture here, Colorado is playing their rivals, Colorado State. They're up 28-9 with 1 minute and 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Again, I'll let you watch.
Game's over.
Play action. They take a shot.
Wow.
And it's incomplete.
Wow. The announcer said, wow.
So if you remember against North Dakota State, they could have just run the clock out, and instead they threw the ball. This was a couple games ago. There's 1 minute 41, and it's first and 10. Instead, they try to take a shot, and that gave North Dakota State a chance to throw a Hail Mary where they came up 4 yards short. They also snapped the ball with 11 seconds on the play clock on that last play. That is not smart.
They're down in 6. Going to throw it again. Sanders fires sideline. It's broken up. Sissima on the coverage.
I mean,
you know what this is?
I don't know what
this
I
is.
got to be honest.
Hit pause. Hit pause. Let me say. Hit pause.
Sanders, because I just.
This is Daddy trying to inflate his kid's stats for a Heisman Trophy. That's exactly what it is.
It's not about Heisman Trophy for him. It's about
Draft stock.
That's right. It's about draft stock. That's what the whole thing's about.
I think they both.
Let's put up these monster numbers. He's a shitty quarterback. His dad's a shitty coach. They're both gone out of Colorado after this year. They're both gone.
Yeah, I'll let you continue to listen because the the announcers start talking about it and they say not so nice things.
I don't know what I got to be honest with you. I think this has to be coming from Deion Sanders because I just can't imagine that this is what Pat Shurmur would want to be doing in this situation. I mean, he's a 3-time NFL head coach.
Think about this really quickly. Pat Shurmur is the offensive coordinator, and that Colorado team still looks like complete and utter dog shit.
He was a very good offensive coordinator.
Great offensive coordinator, yes.
I think Pat would just be taking a knee and winning the football game and not taking a chance that any offensive lineman gets hurt or that the quarterback gets hit again. Now they're going for it on 4th down.
And Sanders in the pocket gets hit, and it's incomplete.
I mean, he just took another hit from a D tackle.
This makes no sense. It's a long season. I mean, they've got Baylor next week. It's into the Big 12.
They are fortunate that this wasn't a bigger hit. This is a 305-pound defensive tackle going right near his throwing arm. Can you imagine what we would be saying all week if Shedeur Sanders got his throwing arm hit in a game where they're up 19 with less than a minute left and they
Okay, so we pretty much grasped what he's saying there on that one. I want to watch this here. So Colorado State, the quarterback came out and he had an interview and he happened to speak. This is, I guess, kind of towards the preseason or last year, something like that. I'll let you watch it here. This is, throwing reference to the prior year when Colorado only beat them in double overtime. And it was a close game like that. And this is what, the quarterback had to say about that.
Yeah, they came out with that attitude and thought it was going to be a cakewalk. They saw the reports, 27.5 points or and they got a rude awakening real quick. And I think it goes to show that the hype, the media train, all that, it only gets you so far. At the end of the day, you have to line up 11 guys against our 11 guys, and we'll find out who wants it more. And we'll see how far Instagram followers gets them.
We all came here to play football. So at the end of the day, the millions of followers and fans that they then produced and got, and celebrities that then jumped on their side because of who Deion Sanders is. At the end of the day, Deion Sanders ain't playing. It's those players playing. So those players better back up on what they speak about.
Yeah.
So that's what they said. Now, this is at the end of the game. Shedeur Sanders, and this is, I'd say, can he possibly be a more unlikable guy? I'll just let you watch. I'll let you get your opinions on
He could be his dad. He could be his dad.
You know, son, you're talking shit on Instagram. You're talking on Instagram. All right, keep talking about business.
You can't fuck with me. I saw you talking shit on Instagram. You can't fuck with me.
I wouldn't touch this kid with a 10-foot pole come draft time.
Neither will I.
Honestly,
No,
after they were trying to run the score up, I just would have. If I was the Colorado State coach, I'd be like, take that piece of shit out. Just low blow him right at the kneecap. Take him out. Take the 15 yards. Fuck him. Go ahead. Keep throwing on us. Keep throwing on us. No problem. That game was clearly over. I'd send a message. Be like, you want to try and run up the score? We're going to take your kid out. No problem.
It's funny, TJ. X
Blow
and I
his
were
fucking
watching,
leg out.
watching a game, and some guy got run. One of these old officials on the sideline got run over and knocked on his keister. Well, in the Houston, Chicago game, there was somebody was running towards where the stick guy was, just holding the location thing, and he started backing up. He tripped over the 20-yard marker, fell down, and they had to wheel him off on a stretcher. I'm like, come on, dude. They shouldn't have
a 9-year-old guy out there doing the what is the clicker for what down it is. And he got steamrolled. He's like 97 years old. I'm like, this guy should be in a wheelchair, not out there doing anything on the field.
This guy, they had to strap him into something to get him off the field. It was like, come on.
Anyway,
stretcher him off. The game was
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about or how you got on that train. We were talking about Shedeur Sanders, Grumpy. Can you tie this together? How is this tied to Shedeur Sanders, please? I'm waiting to see the connection point.
Oh, there he is. Look at him. Look at him, Max. You see what's happening over here? They had to bring the card out for an official who tripped over a 20-yard marker.
That's big. That's big news.
That's what you want to talk about
next week.
I just
bad news for the Chiefs.
Can you control yourself?
Bad news for the Chiefs. Yes, you did have something about that, right? Injury.
It's bad news for the Chiefs
last week.
Okay. So George Sanders, like I said, I'm not touching him with a 10-foot pole come draft time. No way.
No shot.
He is not a leader of men. He just isn't.
All right, Grumpy, next. Let's see if we can lock in here for the last 5 minutes and stop watching our TVs, ladies and gents. Another comment.
Don't you worry about it. X and I are going to watch TV for the rest of the show.
I have no
Lulu
doubt.
Says, do the Mets suck farts? Is son X fulfilling his part?
I'd say, yeah, he's somewhat fulfilling his part. The last item I want to talk about here is the South Carolina. Oh, here you go. Go ahead and put it up by Drew Grump.
To be fair, whoever the kid in that final clip was who was talking about Colorado is absolutely right. The media portraying Colorado was like trying to polish a fat turd.
Yeah. The fact that he said talking shit on Instagram or was talking shit on Instagram, all he said was in an interview, yeah, they were favored by 27 points. And I think when they came here and they found out that, yeah, they're going to have to line up 11 guys against our 11 guys. And no matter what the media pundits and the hype say, that doesn't win you the games. And Instagram followers don't win you the games. It's what the guys on the field do that win you the game. That was enough to make him say, I ain't fucking with you because I saw what you post on Instagram. I ain't fuck with you. He said, all right, fuck off. Simple as that. No problem. Joe Mixon just got injured.
Oh.
That's what happens to 28, 29-year-old running backs. They die and they get old and their legs give out.
It was again, guess what kind of tackle it was? Guess what kind of tackle it was? That got him hurt. Drop tackle. Yup.
Drop tackle. Let's put this up here. So now, I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to watch. USC had 2 pick sixes called back in Saturday's game. Multiple calls that were egregious against South Carolina, Grump. Against South Carolina.
So what? Just keep going. Keep talking. I can hear you.
How many teams do you have Joe Mixon on that you're glued to the television?
In the money league. That's absolutely a drop tackle.
In the money league. No, it's not, Grump. Come on. Officials never make mistakes, dude. Ever. Never.
I'm just saying
Not
it was
once.
a drop tackle. Oh, he's fine. He's moving. He went into the tent, but he's fine.
You done, Grumpy? You ready to focus up on the last bit?
Keep going. Keep it
Ready
going.
to focus up on the last bit here, sir?
Okay, 2 pick sixes called back. Let's
Pick
watch.
six is multiple bad penalties. We'll get your opinion on it. I think, in my opinion, South Carolina was absolutely gypped out of this game. But let's watch.
Georgia Tech transfer grabs it right there.
Horse collar tackle. Look at where the grasp starts. How can it be a horse collar
when it's the front of the jersey?
It starts on the front of the guy's jersey. How can that be a horse collar? And it gets, of course, it continues along the side. But what the fuck is that? That was called back a pick six on because of that. I'm sorry. No shit. No way in hell. First one, no way in hell. Here's the next one. Another pick six that was called back.
Which won them the game.
Yes.
Nussmeier to the end zone through a pick. Threw it right into the hands of Evan Worry. The Gamecocks taking it the other way. There is a flag on the field. Will a pick six be?
No, Jesus.
Not to mention he laid there like he was crippled.
Here's the flop. Here's the flop. Look at this.
His hands, and right after he
the
threw
ball's
it,
gone. The play is made. It's post-possession. It's post-possession.
I hope that kid for LSU, the quarterback,
he just got hit in the shoulder.
Yeah.
And he laid down there like he was fucking killed. And look at this. He knows what he's doing. Lay down like this.
Kyle Kennard.
Lay down. It's fucking fine. Again, like a guy who lays down like that should be drinking through a fucking straw to be laying down like that. What a fucking loser. I've never seen anything like that before. Gets poked. I tell you one thing. I won't be pulling for LSU in any games.
I'll be pulling for their players to get hurt. That's what I'll be pulling for.
This
that
kid
kid gets seriously hurt.
I don't like him. This 13 kid, he fakes more injuries than others.
He's done it in multiple other games too.
Yeah.
He gets tapped and he's like
limping around.
I'm gonna lay down over here like I've
don't
been
try
killed.
to get involved in a play if you don't want to get hit.
He's running towards to make a fucking tackle.
Yeah. Don't try
keep your fucking head up. Guess what? If he stood still, there's no problem.
That's
he
right.
started headed like he was going to make a fucking tackle. We're just supposed to
You
let
get
that guy make a tackle if he wants to.
Yep.
He's right in front of him. Simple as that. Tough shit, buddy. Don't
Did
go
Beamer
running to
come
make
out
a
and say
tackle if you
anything
don't wanna
about
get
this
hit.
shit?
Was that X?
Did Beamer, the coach for South Carolina, come out and say anything about this
No,
shit?
he did. He did have comments. I'll let you listen to it. He didn't tear apart the refs like he should have, but I'll let you listen.
I think the first one with O'Donnell, they said it was a horse collar on the quarterback. Coaches up top told me that they thought he just grabbed the shoulder pad and pulled him down, but the referee, Jason, he's fantastic, and he told me that he was absolutely certain that when we hit the quarterback that it was a horse collar. So he said it, I'm sure it happened. And then the one at the end with Nick, I watched it. I mean, anytime there's an interception, we tell our guys, find the quarterback and make sure we get him blocked. And it wasn't, it wasn't vicious by any stretch of the imagination, but it's one of those situations. If you're a referee in that situation, it's right in front of him. And I watched it because I looked for the quarterback and I saw it. And can't put ourselves in that position. I think the first one was
Gutless, to say the least.
I would have called him out. I'd have been like, whoever these people are, they're never officiating a game of ours again.
Okay. He lays down like he was shot. He was barely tapped. He started walking and started running like he was going to make a tackle. Should we just let that guy make a tackle? What should happen there? Right? Like, don't go and pretend to be a football player if you don't want to be hit like a football player. I don't know what else to say about that, but I'm like, that absolutely cost him the game. 2 pick sixes called back. Hard to believe, hard to fathom. Anyway.
And earlier that they called an offensive pass interference.
Yep.
On a big play. And it's like
they got a first down and it put him at the 30-yard line of LSU.
He didn't even touch him.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely want LSU to lose, and I want that quarterback to get seriously hurt.
My little brownie says, should we be talking about F1? Kidding.
X, I need the F1 update. X, you're F1 liaison. X, what's happening?
Max Verstappen. No, I haven't really seen much on the F1 news. Yeah, I can't really say that I've seen much.
Is the season over? I don't think it's over yet, is it?
No, it's not over.
Max is going to win the whole thing again, isn't he?
Probably. He's really good.
X, that's your one job. Your job is king of comments and make sure you keep
I
up
did
with
it right there.
It looks like an ankle injury of some sort, says Drew. Gungun
Yeah,
says,
he walked into the back. He'll be okay.
does Rodgers have a future? Did the Giants commit a game-ending blooper? Rodgers, I don't know. The next few games are going to be important to see how he does. I mean, like if he looks like this, 5-6 games into the regular season, I'm worried that he just doesn't have it anymore.
40? Is he 40 now?
39, 40. I'll look it up though.
I mean, Brady was still looking good at 45.
He's 40.
Okay, he doesn't. He'll
be turning 40. He'll be 41 in 3 months.
I mean, he can still throw the ball okay, but it almost seems like the game's a little too fast for him all of a sudden. I don't know.
How many 40-year-olds play? Like Peyton Manning at 40 didn't look the same either.
There's only one guy who's looked really good into his 40s. Only one.
Vinny Testaverde looked good at the age of 40.
No, he didn't.
Vinny Testaverde. Anyway.
Freedom Farmer says, guys, will Lou be announced that he is retiring during the season? Islanders need to get a jump on hiring. Next, give me 1 to 2 takes, 2 guys the Islanders could acquire that will drastically improve the team. Not that I want it. TJ?
Lou's not going to retire in season. I mean, the only way that something were to happen is Lou steps down, or he's been diagnosed with something chronic.
Who retires first, Lou or Tua?
Well, that's actually a good question.
That's actually a good question. I'm going to put that on the Twitter page. We'll do a poll.
I don't know.
Lou Lamoriello retires before Tua.
I think Tua retires before Lou.
No,
I disagree. I think Lou retires before. I think Tua. That's a good one, Grumpy. I might steal that one from you and post it on our Twitter page. Or if you post it, Grumpy,
I don't know how to do that, so you do it.
Okay, I'll post it. I'll post it, Grump. It's a good question. I don't know. Good question. Though. I think though Tua retires first.
Okay.
1 or 2 guys that could drastically improve the team.
We have nothing of trade value that anyone wants. No deals are going to be made. I don't think anyone who's available can drastically improve the team.
I not as available that fits in our current structure. That's what I mean. Like if you're just like, 2 guys, like McDavid and Draisaitl would improve the team, but they have to be reasonable, I assume, with this question. And I'm like, I'm not sure we have like in our current cap situation, we can reasonably fit 2 top tier players in that would work, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Here you go. Milo Brown.
Sadly, Max is not as dominant. McLaren just passed Red Bull for the Constructor Championship. I know that is all Spanish to you 3.
Constructor Championships like Champions League. They
construct cars. I'm going to say it could be any foreign language to us.
I think it's just Max Verstappen.
I know Spanish a little bit better than they do. So anyway, yes, football is back. Football season's back. But
Max, have you looked up who is leading is Max Verstappen number 1 or what?
Oh, no, I haven't looked it up.
Come on, dude.
What is your job, X?
Talk about it. I gave you a whole lot of
Hey, calm down there.
And we don't hear anything. Come on, X.
Max Verstappen is number 1. Lando Calrissian Norris.
Lando Calrissian.
For Mercedes, he's number 2. You've got here Charles Leclerc for Ferrari, number 3.
Charles Leclerc.
How's it
spelled? There's a C at the end. Leclerc.
Okay.
It's a French name.
I'm pretty sure it's Charles Leclerc.
When you're deciding to have a child and you name them Lando,
the Calrissian. That's the
name. Right. I mean, how many other Landos do you know?
It's Leclerc, TJ. It's not Leclerc. It's Leclerc.
Oscar Pasteri. I don't know. Anyway, again, like I can barely speak one language. I barely do that. You're asking me to pronounce names that have dialects from other nations. I'm going to struggle with that. It just kind of comes into territory. Gungun says, TJ, can you play a bit of the piano behind you? And does Lou have a clue? Yes, I can. There you go. Playing the piano.
Wait. What's the noise a piano makes?
It makes the noise.
That's not a piano, by the way. Bing, bada, bing, bada, bing. It's not. No.
There you go. Anyway, let's wrap things up, guys. What do you want to say, Grumpy, next before we conclude today's show?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens, and even those who don't. From TJ, the Grumpy Old Man, and Son X.
What do you want to say before we wrap things
Just
up?
want to thank everybody for coming out and listening. As always, love the interaction in the chat, and we will see you guys next time. And down with the Chiefs, down with the NFL. Screw them all. All
right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, listening to the show today. Thank you, Grumpy. Thank you, Son X. We'll be live with you guys next Sunday. Thanks so much, Grumpy. Thank you so much, Son X.
My pleasure.